Welcome! I'm Nicolette Amarillas. I'm an exercise coach and a posture and movement specialist. Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite glute activation exercises, an accessory exercise for the booty, glute kickbacks. Glute kickbacks with a cable machine. I will obviously be using tonal today because I love her so much, but if you just have a regular old cable machine, that works too. You will need ankle straps as well, and if you're using tonal, you are going to also need a T-lock. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the glute kickback. So like I said before, the glute kickback is a great accessory exercise to bigger movements like squats and deadlifts. So you would do this type of movement toward the later end of a workout, or if you're doing a day where you're just doing accessory single joint movements, you could also throw it in then. Let's go over the movement itself. So I like to have, whether it's a tonal or a regular cable, to have the arm just slightly up so that it's slightly off of the ground, so that when you come into the kickback, it's not so far toward the ground and you can keep your leg up higher. So for me, I don't know, it's probably like 6 to 9 inches above the floor. I'm then gonna attach the T-lock to my ankle strap and the carabiner, okay? So make sure that the hardware is in the front for the kickback. I'm gonna do 10 pounds. If I were to do this full weight, just to give you a good idea, I would probably do 20 to 25 for maybe 10 to 15 reps. Everyone is different, but that just gives you an idea of what kind of weight I'm lifting. Now, in order to get this right, I like to take a small step back. So I have the convenience of using tonal, which means the weight is weightless until you turn it on. I am taking a small step back. Okay, that way when I come forward with my leg, I can get more hip flexion, so bending in the hip here, more hip flexion into more hip extension, which is going to give me more work in the glute. Okay, so I'm taking a small step back, the leg that's on the floor, soften that knee, spread the toes, and press the heel into the floor. You should actually feel the glute of the stabilizing leg working almost as much as the leg that's kicking back. So really sit into that hip. Now you'll use your hands for balance by reaching forward, either holding your tonal or the cable machine. Now you don't need to be in a full forward position, so I don't need to be parallel with the floor. I actually like to be a little bit more like this, maybe like 45 degrees. From here, my toe on the floor of the leg that's working, just so I can stabilize the weight for when I turn it on. Pull my shoulders down, open my chest, get strong in the upper body. Now I'm gonna bend my knee forward, almost like I'm trying to touch the arm of tonal. From here, keeping my toes towards my shins, press the heel back. Straight back, and then straight forward. Knee bends, hip bends, kick back. Now a couple things to note. When I extend back, I'm not going into extension of my spine, so an arch, but instead I'm thinking about drawing my core in and keeping my core drawn tight so that when I extend, that tucked in position creates more work through my glute. As soon as I go into extension, I'm then working the extensors of the lumbar, the low back, and instead of working my glute. The more I can stay tucked in, the more I'm gonna feel that glute. And like I said before, the leg that's standing, I actually feel a ton of work here, and that's normal. I'll show you one more. Remember, knee flexion and hip flexion is important. Extend back, feel that glute, bring it forward, turn the weight off. There's kind of a lot going on with that exercise. But when in doubt, just remember to soften the knee of the leg that's standing and get in as much hip and knee flexion as you can. That way you're going from a stretched position here into that shortened, engaged position in the back. Try it out. Let me know how it goes. Feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions or want any additional tips. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you soon.